talking about the homebuyer's roadmap for 2024. So, this is going to be fun. We are right at the end of 2023, and we're going to be talking about the current real estate market, what's going on, how you can negotiate in today's market to make a strong winning offer and actually win the house that you're trying to buy without overpricing yourself and still get your offer accepted, which is really, really important because right now, the way the current market is, there's really no need to be overpaying. Obviously, you want to price it right, but no need to overpay. So recently, I did have a client make an offer on a house. We got it for $104,000 under their asking price, their initial asking price. There was actually an offer that got made same day as we put our offer in, $10,000 more. They were offering $10,000 more than we were, and we still beat them out just because we had a stronger offer. So definitely something you want to do in today's market. So there are some key strategic things for you to understand, to know, and we'll be talking about those. So there's my contact information. If you are thinking about buying a home in the next 6, 12, even 18 months down the road, hit us up, and we'll definitely share some strategies with you, help you get started, and that way you can figure out where to go. But, anyways, with no further ado, just so you know who I am in case you haven't been on our channel before, I'm David Bailey. I'm a realtor at Align Right Realty, and I specialize in helping people buy and sell homes in the Tampa Bay area. So I do go up as far as like the Ocala area, out to Orlando, down into the Sarasota market. So kind of that whole region here around the Tampa Bay area. So if you're looking for something here in the Tampa Bay area, we'll be happy to help you out. So in today's podcast, episode 2, we're going to be talking about the home buying process. In our previous episode, we talked about a little bit about my story, how I got into real estate, houses that I bought, sold, owned over the years, investment properties, multifamily properties, all that kind of good stuff. But today, I want to focus just specifically on the home buying process, and we'll be looking at the 10 steps, the 10 stages of buying a home. So we're just going to kind of breeze through this, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll be happy to talk about your specific situation. It doesn't matter if you're a first-time home buyer, if you are, if you own a home right now, if you are looking for investment properties, if you're looking for multifamily, if you want to fix and flip, if you want to buy and sell, if you're looking for new construction, we've got you covered. Strategies for all of those things. But today's going to be just more of a general topic. So the very first thing you should do, if you haven't already, is start searching your preferred locations. Make a list of your must-have features. So if you are looking for new construction, resale homes, for sale by owners, off-market deals, all those kind of good things. Off-market deals are just homes that aren't currently on the market yet, aren't in the MLS. A lot of times those are homes, for example, I'll see a house on the market that looks like it's already pending under contract, but you've got a wholesaler who's trying to resell it for a higher price than they got it under contract. So they'll negotiate to get it under contract, under price, and then try to sell it or flip it or whatever the deal is. Sometimes we just know about somebody, somebody will call me, we'll talk about a house they're thinking about moving out of. They want to sell it, but they don't know where they're going yet, so they haven't listed it. Then the next day, somebody will call me from California who saw another one of my videos, and they're looking for something similar to the person that I just got done talking to. So we can kind of help you make those connections. So when we talk about off-market deals, that's kind of what we're referring to. Somebody, remember a while back, spoke with somebody who had a house that they wanted to sell, but they didn't want to put it on the market for various privacy reasons. So things like that. So it's important that you're involved with a network of investors, people who are constantly buying and selling. And that's something we can definitely help you with. There is a strong investor network here in the Tampa Bay area, several of them actually. So we can definitely help you if that's something you're looking to do, especially if you're looking to get into rental properties. But step number one is, when you start thinking about buying a home, just start doing some research, see what's available out there. Think about what you want based on off of houses that you've lived in the past, what you liked about each one, what you didn't. And we actually have a process we'll go through with you. We'll sit down, so you can definitely reach out, contact us. Give me a call, 727-249-4022. Call, text, email me, and we'll kind of walk you through the process. We can schedule a Zoom call, talk with you about what you're looking for, what your strategies are, when you want to move by, what your budget is, all that kind of good stuff. And we'll kind of go over some of that today, but then we'll help you come up with a game plan. But if you already start doing some of this stuff ahead of time, it'll actually make it easier because you'll already know what you want, right? And so step number two is just kind of decide on how much you want to spend on your new home. How much do you feel comfortable paying on your monthly payment plans? Is kind of the easiest way to do that. And we've got a little formula. I'll share that with you here in a little bit, so you can actually know based off of how much you feel comfortable making your monthly payment plans, how much house you can afford. So that would kind of be the second step. Once you've got that nailed down, then you can start looking around to hire the right real estate agent. You know what you're looking for, you know how much you want to spend, and then hiring. And it's not just the real estate agent, it's developing the right real estate team around you. So obviously if you're not a cash buyer, you're planning on taking out a loan, you want to have the right lender, you want to have the right home inspectors, the right insurance providers, people who have been in the game for a while, know what they're doing, and can help you through each phase of the process. So as a real estate agent, I network with a lot of people in these areas, and that's something we can help you with. So you want to start building out your team, talking to people that you know, start figuring out what you're looking for. And actually, the reason I came here was to switch that contact info, so you can hit me up if you have any questions or if you need any help looking for a house. But moving along, start building out your real estate team around you, finding the right people to help you through this process. So once you do that, then you want to start getting pre-approved for credit. So there's actually a couple steps before this. If you know your credit score isn't as good as it could be, you want to take steps to improve that, because obviously the better your credit score is, the potentially better rates you can get, lower interest rates you can get when you get a loan. So it may take some time. Now, we do work with lenders that are pretty fast. Something that you want to be careful of is when you're talking to lenders, sometimes you'll talk to a lender, to tell them what your credit score is. They'll give you like a, just pre-qualification letter. Yeah, we think we can approve you up to this amount. And then you get into the process. And once you get in, then they realize they can't give you that loan. So you definitely want to make sure you're working with a good qualified lender who will give you an actual pre-approval letter, who will underwrite the process. And we do definitely work with lenders that do that. One of our lenders, they actually have people pre-qualified within 2 to 4 hours, and they actually pre-underwrite you. They've got their whole team in-house. So they pre-underwrite you. So once you get into the home buying process, there's no surprises or issues that come up later on down the road that would keep you from getting that loan, which is never any fun. So definitely don't want that to happen. You want to work with a good lender who's going to get you pre-qualified, pre-underwritten. And when you do find the home, part of that approval process is going to include the home. So it's not all just based on you, but until you actually know what house you want to buy, that pre-approval process won't be finalized. So right now, they're just going to be pre-qualifying you based off your credit, employment history, and whatnot. So definitely just some things to keep in mind. Let me go ahead and introduce you here to part of one of the lenders that we work with, that we're partnered up with, is the #1 mortgage team in the nation. This is the Matt Weaver team from Cross Country Mortgage. Again, so you can see here, they're the #1 purchase transactions closed in the nation in 2022. They operate 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., 364 days a year. They're only closed on Christmas, so it doesn't matter what day of the week. It can be weekends, nights, whenever. They're there to help you out. They can get you pre-underwritten in 4 to 6 hours. And that's actually, they can even do that faster. Sometimes I've seen that as fast as 2. They'll do a consultation. They'll actually call you. You can do that online, but they'll actually call you and get the facts and figures to help share with you the loan programs that they have, can help you out. And one of the things that's really nice about their offer process strategies, working with them, and that's one of the things we actually applied this weekend when I helped a buyer get a house under contract, where that house, we were outbid. Somebody made a higher offer than us, and we still won the offer just because we followed the strategy. So that's something else I'll be sharing with you when we talk. So feel free to give me a call, contact me, and we'll go through that, the 7 elements of structuring a winning offer. And it doesn't matter whether you're buying cash or whether you're taking out a loan, even if you're working with a lender like the Matt Weaver team, they can still beat out cash offers, beat out cash buyers and investors using the 7 elements of structuring a winning offer. So definitely good stuff. Let's see what else is important here. You can just kind of read through that. Pause the video if you need to, but I'm going to move on here, just talk about some of the loan processes. Let me close that just so you can see the screen better. So it's actually pretty simple. They have a lot of good programs available. Conventional loans, you need a 620 credit score. You can get started with a 3% down payment, and they'll get you approved for a loan of up to $726,000. Over that, it'll be a jumbo loan, so you will have to have a little bit higher of a credit score, a little bit higher of down payment, 3.5 to get started. There are also FHA loans, no credit score needed, 3.5% on your down payment, up to a $557,750 loan. And that's also, so just thinking here off the top of my head, like on a $200,000-300,000 home, first time home buyer who's looking to get started in a, here in the Tarpon Springs area right now, the average home value is around $450,000 to $500,000. So $200,000-300,000 home is actually pretty low. So the farther north you go, cheaper houses get. The farther south you go, here they usually get a little bit more expensive. So I have been seeing people buy houses little bit north of us for like around 195,000, sometimes even lower. I've seen houses go as low as $90,000, but those need a lot of work. So 195,000, $200,000 range, you can get a good house that doesn't need a lot of work, move-in ready, and get you started on your first home. So with a 3.5% down payment, that would be what, about $7,000 to $10,000 that you would need for down payment. And there are first-time homebuyer programs, and I'll actually share something with you that the Matt Weaver team's got going on here. Let me see if I can pull that up. So there is the first-time homebuyer grant up to $7,000 with no repayment. So as long as you fit these criteria here, there are no appraisal fees, no prepayments, no red tape. There are also first-time homebuyer programs. They do have down payment assistant programs. So I just helped a family close on a home about 3 weeks ago now, and they got one of these down payment assistant programs. So they only had to cough up about $1,000 out of pocket just to cover some initial fees, and then they got the down payment and the loan covered the price of the home. So Matt Weaver team has their own program, and they're also, each county has their own programs as well. So Hillsborough has their down payment assistant program, Pasco has one, Pinellas has one. So there is definitely money available for you if you're looking to buy your first home. VA loans, also no credit score needed, 0% down payment, no loan limit. So they definitely work with you no matter what you're trying to do. They even have specialty loans as well. All kinds of good stuff. Now, if you're not a first-time home buyer and you're looking for your ideal home, you want to sell the home you're currently in, and you want to buy a new home. And yes, I did figure out how these numbers work. Yesterday, I was trying to go through this, and I got stuck on that 0.07% because I was thinking that was 70%, and I knew something was wrong. But it's not 70, it's 7%. So that's where my mistake was. So anyways, I'll run you through this briefly. But in today's market, a lot of people feel locked into their current homes because they refinanced at those really low interest rates. And if you go to buy a new home, now you're going to sell that home and buy a home at higher interest rates, which a lot of people don't want to do. So 70% of homeowners are not in their ideal home. So here's a quick exercise to help you figure out what the ideal home is for you. And we definitely don't want you paying 8% interest rates, 9% interest rates in today's market. We're actually going to share some strategies with you to help you out getting those down to as low as 4 or 5%. So a couple different strategies depending what you're trying to do. Doesn't matter whether you're looking at new construction or resale homes. We definitely have strategies to help you get those mortgage rates down a lot lower. So I definitely don't want you thinking about going out looking for an 8% interest rate. All right. So here's how it works. We're going to take the value of your current home, close that, make that a little bit easier to see. Value of your current home. So let's say your current home is valued at $500,000. We're going to multiply that by 7%, 0.07, which is where that 35,000 comes from. And we're also going to take your current mortgage balance. So let's say you have a house that's worth 500,000. Let's just go back a little bit. Let's say you bought your house 3 years ago for $300,000. You took out a mortgage on it. You've been paying it down a little bit, so your mortgage is currently at $250,000, right? But because equity's gone up so much, home values have gone up like 55% over the past 3 years, sometimes even more. I've done closings with people who they bought a house for $300,000 down in St. Pete, and now they just recently sold it for whatever million. So home values have gone up a lot in different areas. But let's just say it's gone up from $300,000 to $500,000. All right. So you want to sell it. There's the 7%, which is what you're going to spend in closing costs, commissions, and all that. So that's where that 35,000 comes in, minus the 250,000 you owe on your mortgage, which would get paid off. You'd be left with $215,000. And let's say that you would feel comfortable paying $4,000 max on your mortgage payment. So we would divide that number by 0.0075. And kind of the rule of thumb is that every $750 you feel comfortable paying on your mortgage payment, you could get up to a $100,000 loan. So that $4,000 mortgage payment would get you up to a $533,000 loan plus the $215,000 that's equity that you have in your current home, means that you could potentially buy a $748,000 home. You could upgrade your home to a much better house in a nicer neighborhood if that's something you want to do. So that's where that is. So here's the ideal worksheet. And if you want a copy of that, don't hesitate to reach out, hit me up, and I'll be happy to shoot that over to you. Just call, text, email, and we'll shoot that over to you whatever way you prefer. That way you can work through it. We can actually schedule a time and go through it with you, help you understand what numbers to plug in here so you do that right. Figure out how much money you could potentially work with to get into your ideal home. And if you're renting, no worries. You can still take advantage of these loan programs. There are lots of good programs out there. Let's say that you were spending $3,500 on your monthly rent. You spent $10,500 on your first, last, and security deposit. You're making what, $42,000 in annual payments? Whereas if you owned your own home, you'd be paying what, less, $3,200 on your monthly payment. You'd have made that same $10,000 to your down payment program, and you'd only be spending $38,000 on your annual payments, but that is building up equity in something that you own instead of paying off your landlord's rent. So obviously we're not knocking rent. I know there's some people in the real estate industry who are like, renting's the way to go, you shouldn't buy, etc. And we won't talk about that. But there's a time and a place for renting. For example, if you're moving to a new place area, you want to get the lay of the land before you buy something, see what areas you like. Or you could potentially be moving because of your job and you don't want to be locked down to a place. So nothing wrong with renting. But if you are ready to start building up equity, you want to own your own home, there are definite advantages to that. So even if you're just looking to rent right now, hit us up. We'll be happy to help you find a place. It's not something that I really focus on, but I have helped a few people get rentals, or people who have rental properties and want to rent those out. We can help you with that as well. So it's definitely part of what we do. But anyways, the main reason I'm hitting on this now is just so that for people who are currently renting and thinking about buying a home, everybody's freaked out about, mortgage rate, the interest rates being so high right now, because we've come up from those 2-3% interest rates to 8-9% now. But again, I don't want you to be paying 8-9% interest rates. We definitely have strategies to help you get down into the 4 and 5%. So we'll talk about that. So the way I look at it right now, this is a good time to buy. I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't foresee the future. But I talked to people 2-3 years ago that I helped close on a home, sell their home, and asked them where they were moving to. And they're like, oh, we're just going to rent for a year or two till the market crashes, and then we're going to buy. And that was 3 years ago. Market still hasn't crashed, and prices are still going up of houses. Interest rates are still going up. So definitely, the more you wait, the more prices are going to go up. They've been going up since the 1960s. If you look back at trends, housing prices since the 1960s, sure, we have times where they dip a little bit, but they're constantly going up. And interest rates, as far as we can see from what the Fed's saying and everything, those are most likely going to be going up as well, at least for a while. So if you get a mortgage get a loan right now and lock in current interest rates and they go up, then you're locked in at the interest rates what they are now. There's no way to go back in time, unfortunately, to a couple years ago and get those really, really low interest rates, but you can lock them in where they are. So if they go up, you're locked in at today's interest rates. And if they go down, you refinance. So it's not that big of a deal. So let's say they do go back in a couple months all the way down to 2%, 3% again, then you just refinance at the lower rates. The nice thing about the Matt Weaver team is that they have a lender for life program. So even if you do decide to refinance later on, their specialty is working with buyers, and part of their program includes their lender for life program, which means they'll help you refinance your home at lower interest rates without charging you origination fees. You'll only pay the title fees and the document stamps, recording fees that the government requires when you do that, but they will refinance your loan without charging their own fees. So definitely a good program, something to think about if you're worried about those high interest rates. Now is a good time to lock those in because you're safe if they go up, and if they go down, you just refinance. But the advantage to interest rates being so high right now is that it's knocked a lot of people out of the game. People who wanted to buy homes can't buy it now because they plan on buying a home at a certain price when interest rates were lower, waited too long to buy, and now that interest rates have gone up, they can't get pre-approved or pre-qualified for those same loan amounts. And other people who could buy just don't want to because they're unsure of what's going to happen. So right now is a really good time to buy just because there's a lot less competition than there were a couple years ago. So it was mad. A couple years ago, saw houses that would get 54 offers in the first day, saw a house go up for sale, and they would, close within 4 hours. They would pick an offer and shut things down before things went mad just because they didn't want to have to deal with all the people coming through the house and wanting to see it and everything. So anyways, that has slowed down a lot. So as long as houses are priced right, they're still selling well. Houses are still selling pretty quickly, 15 to 21 days. But if they stay on the market longer than that, then they investors get happy because that's when they know they can pick those homes up for a lot cheaper and negotiate prices. And that's a whole nother strategy. If you're looking for a home, we'll get into that with you, helping you buy homes for well under market value. And like I said, we just helped somebody here this weekend pick up a home for $104,000 under the list price, what they're originally asking. So we can definitely share those strategies with you as well. But anyways, pre-approval process is really, really simple. You can just apply online at the Matt Weaver team or call their number 7 days a week from 8 to 9 a.m. You submit the documents for review. Underwriting coordinator will review your application, let you know what programs are available to meet your needs, and then they'll schedule a consultation to review your results. So that's it. If you need a good lender, Matt Weaver team's definitely a great lender to look at, and we recommend them happily just because they've helped so many of our clients at our brokerage, and there are a lot of other good lenders that we work with as well. So definitely, if you're looking for other options, hit us up. We'll be happy to share those with you as well. But I just kind of wanted to use these flyers because they're really easy, break things down in a way that's easy for you to understand. So they also have a buy down program, which is something that we use in negotiating, whether you're selling or buying, because you can negotiate, say, $20,000 off the price of a home, or let's not even say $20,000 because I don't want to spit numbers out without having to run the calculations. But let's say that you negotiate a certain amount off the price of your home, and that would knock your mortgage payments down, a little bit, maybe 20, 30, $50 off your monthly payment, whereas using a buy down program, that could get you up to over $1,000 off each month on your mortgage payments if you use it right. And the temporary buy down program is nice because even if you're not locked in, that's not, you can get that money back if you refinance and the rates go down. There's a whole lot involved there. That's a whole nother strategy, but definitely hit us up. We'll be happy to talk about that with you, or hit up the Matt Weaver team and they can help you out with that as well, figuring out what the best options are for you. And if you're looking for investment properties, no need to verify your income. You can get up to 4-unit properties, multifamily properties, with as little as 20% down payment. No income verification required, just using the rental income to qualify, and you can get up to $2.5 million on that. So if you're an investor, or even if you own your own home and you're looking to get into investment properties, definitely have lots of options for you there as well. So anyways, with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and shut that down. We'll come back to our screen here. So that was just wanted to bring that up in this phase here while we're talking about credit pre-approval, getting pre-approved for a loan. The actual approval process will come in once you find the house you want to buy, and then they'll actually approve the house as collateral for the loan. But in the pre-approval process, this is just the first step based off your information. And once you get pre-approved, pre-qualified, you know how much money you have to work with. You can start looking for homes within that amount. So we have a whole process. We'll sit down, run through a whole series of questions and a worksheet to help you figure out what you're actually looking for, what your wants and needs are, and not just that list, but why you want that. And then we'll help you narrow down the process. So like I said, we'll look at new construction properties, new constructions on the market, because then you know what a new home is, what the price is, and then you can compare every other home you look at to that. So you could look at a home and realize that, hey, I can get a much better house for cheaper than this if I buy it brand new. Or, hey, this is a really good deal because I can get this a lot cheaper than that one, only spend $50,000 to fix it up, and I've got a killer deal here. So then we look at the new construction houses in the area that you're looking to buy in. We look at the homes that are on the market for sale. We look at off-market deals, for sale by owners. We're not going to just randomly pick houses and start looking up. We're going to throw everything in the bucket, and then we're going to eliminate them to get down to a list of your top 3 to 5 homes. And then you'll kind of narrow it down to your top pick, and then make an offer on the home that you really, really like, and work towards you getting that home. So we'll make an offer to the seller when you're sure about getting the house. You've decided how much you want to spend on it, how much you're willing to pay. We'll submit the offer, and we'll use those 7 elements of structuring a winning offer, make a solid offer, and help you get your house, the house you want, for the price you want. And of course, there's a whole negotiation series that we could go into, and we'll talk more about that in other videos. Right now, I just want to give you an overview of the entire process. So once you've made the offer and the offer gets accepted, right? So if I'm your real estate agent, I'm going to write up the offer for you. You're going to sign it, any addendums, everything that goes along with that. You'll sign those. We'll send it over to the seller. They'll review it with their real estate agent, and they'll choose the offer that's best for them. And they'll choose yours, of course, because we put in a really solid offer. Even like the one I said we get this weekend, we had a house that outbid us by $10,000. We still won it just because our offer was so strong. So it got accepted. They sent it back to us, and we just had to initial off on a couple of changes that were made because the closing date got pushed back just a few days. And so we initialed off on that, and then we send everything over to the title company for them to start processing things. If you have a lawyer, they can review the contract before you sign it. You can do hard copies. We can also do electronic copies. So all you got to do is just click a few buttons and submit your offer. Your dream home is only a signature away, or in this case, even a click away, right? So once that offer's been accepted, then it's time for you to get your home insurance policy. And there's a bunch of things that are going on in this time. So you're going to get your home insurance policy if your lender requires it, if you're buying cash, even if you're not in a flood zone. Interestingly enough, there are statistics about this that a lot of homes, a certain percentage of homes that get flooded each year are actually in areas that aren't considered flood zones. And here in Florida, even though we're in a flood zone X, right, which means that most likely won't get flooded, there's always the potential for hurricanes. So it's good to be protected if you need that flood insurance policy, but definitely a home insurance policy. There are lots of different options. We've got some great insurance agents that we're connected with at our brokerage, and they have access to all of the different, different insurance companies and can help you figure out what the best policy is for you. So definitely something that you want to look at. And once we go through that, you're going to go through getting your insurance. Title companies are going to be doing their research. The lender is going to approve the home. They'll do their appraisal, approve it, and they'll give the clear to close. Once the lender gives the clear to close to the title company will send over the documents. You'll sign those, or you'll go into the title company and sign them there. I do a lot of mobile closings, which is a convenience for people wanting to sign in their own home. You don't have to go anywhere. So most of the times we're just signing with people in their new home or wherever they're at. Sometimes we'll meet at a Starbucks, a Panera Bread, and they'll actually sign the documents wherever they're at, send them back to the title company. Title company will shoot those over to the lender. The lender will give them the funding authorization, so then they can send the funds from the lender to the seller, and you, as the buyer, get your keys. So we have a lot of different programs. If you have a home that you want to sell and the other house comes up on the market, you could potentially make an offer based, with a contingency based on the sale of your home. But sometimes that won't get accepted. With the Matt Weaver team, they have bridge loans where they'll actually pay you get your new home, and for a certain amount of time, as long as you have your home listed with a real estate agent, they'll help you cover those mortgage payments from your previous home and provide a loan for that. So you don't have to worry about making two mortgage payments at once. So another option if you're looking for that. Typically, people who are in that situation, they want to buy a home, sign the documents on a certain day, and then sign the documents for selling their home on the same day. So that way they just kind of sell their house, buy the new house, move into the new house, and everything's smooth and seamless. And I've seen that happen a lot. But every once in a while, it doesn't work out so well, and they sell their home, but the house they're buying doesn't close, and so they've got to put all their stuff in storage. They've got to make temporary living arrangements, and it can be kind of a hassle. So a nice option with the Matt Weaver team is they actually allow for, a quick, fast 10-day close with a post-occupancy agreement where let's say you're selling your house and somebody's buying it from you. You close in 10 days, you get your money, but you can keep living in the home for, say, up to another 30, 45 days until your home is ready to move into. So another really good advantage of a post-occupancy agreement is just having that flexibility and option. So plan for moving day. Once everything closes, you've got your movers ready, you know what you're going to do. You've got your game plan. Don't forget your house keys. So definitely important. And then you move into your new home. So just as a quick recap, do your initial research, set your budget, hire the right real estate agent. Um, let's flip this up here. Get your credit approval. That way we can see the whole screen. Otherwise, my picture is going to be covering it up. Then you're going to look at your shortlisted homes. You're going to make an offer to the seller, review and sign the seller contract. You're going to get your home financing. You're going to purchase your insurance policy. You're going to close on the home and move in. So that is it, my friends. It's pretty straightforward. It can go pretty fast. Closing on a cash deal, again, typically you can see houses close in 7 to 10 days, as long as the title company get all their paperwork done and everything is clear to close. Even on a loan, lenders like Matt Weaver team, they can get you approved for your loan in as little as, I believe it's 5 days on a conventional loan. Let's see, I don't think we have that in here, but I know there's a time limit. It's pretty fast, so you can get in, close. I think it's get your approval within 5 days, have the appraisal done and everything, and then close in 10 days. So I know they can close in 10 days. I just don't remember how much the initial time is, but I think it's 5 days. So once that goes through, you get your appraisal, they get the clear to close within 10 days. You can close on your home even with a lender. So I know a lot of times you talk with certain lenders or banks, and it's 21 days to close is the minimum. The fastest they can do, sometimes it's as far out as 30 or even more that I've seen. So definitely working with a good solid team that can get you closed in 10 days is a great option. So once again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, get in touch with us. There's my contact information. We can talk by phone. We can schedule a Zoom meeting, go over what your needs are, what you're looking to do, and we'll be happy to figure out what you're trying to do, what your strategy, what you want to do, your budget is, your timeline is, when you want to move by, all that, and help you figure out the best strategy to do that and connect you with the right people. So I don't know if there's any questions here. Let's see. We've got someone that says hi. Mendranath says, hey, hello, Mendranath. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you being here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop us a line, drop us your questions here. Even if you're watching the recording later, you can hit us up, leave a comment below. Let us know what you're looking for, what you're trying to accomplish. And again, most of the people we talk to are, most of the times 90 days out, 6 months, a year, or sometimes even longer out from buying a home. So I've had people that I talked to, let's say a year previously, we'd look at some houses, and then a year later, they actually ended up circling back around. I'm going to say a year. Was it a year? It may have been a little bit less than a year, maybe 11 months, but it was almost a year from the time we first looked at a house till they were like, okay, this is the house that we want to buy. So it's just a lot of psychological preparation, figuring out what you want, what you need, what you're hoping for, finding your dream house. So it's never too early in the process to get started. So here's how it kind of works. Let's say you want to close and you want to sell your house and buy another house, right? So you can close on your house in as little as 10 days. But let's say you want to sell your house and the person who's buying your house doesn't have a great lender. It's going to take them at least 30 days to close on your home. And they've got a whole bunch of contingencies that have you kind of nervous whether or not they're going to be able to close. And let's just say typically what I see working with people working with other lenders, it's going to take them 30 days to close. So if you want to sell your house, say in today, let's say you wanted to sell it today, move out, you could be out of your house in as little as 10 days, right? You could buy another house move into it in 10 days. But even if you had your house sold today, they would have had to have put an offer in 30 days ago. Does that make sense? So you want to buy in 10 days. So you need to sell your house today, right? So our timeline today, and you want to move out in 10 days. So 30 days ago, you would have had to have gotten an offer on your home. And let's say it would have taken you 21 days, 15 to 21 days is kind of the average time for a house to sell. So 15 to 20 days before that, you would have had to put your home on the market. So that means from today, 30 days back to get an offer, 21 days before that, you would have had to put your house on the market 51 days ago, almost 2 months ago. So to sell your house, it's going to take you 2 or 3 months right now if you were to put it on the market today. So that's just something to keep in mind. I know a lot of people think, it's too early. It's never too early. It's going to take you a couple of months, even if you put your house on the market today, to get it sold. So you want to be thinking about that ahead of time. All right, I want to move within 6 months. So by such and such a date, here's when I need to put my house on the market. Here's what I need to do to get it ready. Here's what I need to do to prepare. So typically a 90-day timeline's moving pretty fast. So we can schedule a time to talk, do a Zoom call with you, kind of run you through our process for buying, run you through our process for selling, help you figure out based off of when you want to move by, what your timelines would be for each of those, and help you prepare for that well in advance. So that way you're not scrambling to try to do things at the last minute, right? So we see people put their house up for sale. Sometimes they want to sell it for sale by owner, then they get an offer on it, and then they're scrambling to find another house before the house closes and they have to move out. And that can put a deadline on you, add some extra stress. So it's not really buying first or selling first. Kind of want to think about both of those simultaneously if that's what you're trying to do, to make sure that the whole process is as smooth as possible. So even if you're only thinking about moving a year from now, don't hesitate to reach out, give us a call. We can talk about what you want to do, what the best strategy is for you, what a good timeline would look like for you that would be stress-free and relaxed as possible as real estate can be, and making things happen as smoothly as possible. So let's see. I'll just do a quick recap here on the lender programs in case you have any questions on those. Let me just start out with the Matt Weaver team pre-approval process. You can see their website there and their phone number there, so you can get that process started if that's something you want to do. Again, there's just some extra information. You can just pause the video to read that pre-approval process, the offer process, their service advantages, loan products that they offer. That way you can kind of see what you'd be looking at. Definitely as part of their consultation process, they'll help you figure out what your options are, what the best ones are for you. There's actually not on here USDA loans, which is another option if you're buying in a rural area, which can be helpful as well. Some great programs there. Their first time homebuyer grant up to $7,000 with no repayment. And there are, again, each county has their own down payment assistance program. So there's definitely lots of money out there that is available for helping you buy your home. There's the ideal home worksheet that you can kind of base yourself off of. That's the example worksheet. And there is the worksheet that you can fill in for yourself. If you're renting, just looking at some of the options that are available there. And there are the buy down programs as well as the investment programs as well. If you want some rental properties, you don't have to use your income to verify. You can use the rental income to qualify for loans up to 2.5 million and get started with as little as a 20% down payment. So even just recently, I saw some duplexes that are available for sale right up here just north of us. So there are those that become available from time to time. I remember when I first moved to Tarpon Springs, this was probably when I moved back to Tarpon Springs about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a house, kind of a multifamily deal that was for sale, I think at the time for 600,000. Somebody bought that, fixed it up, resold it. And I think that's been sold a couple of times. The person that has it now, I think they paid 1 point some million on it, but it's a pretty nice property. It's been fixed up quite a bit. So a lot of these fix and flip properties, even if you don't want to buy properties that you have to fix up yourself, you can get houses that are already fixed up. There are a lot of people who specialize in fixing up rundown homes. They make their profit off it, but they don't want to have to deal with tenants and having rental properties. But you can buy the home already fixed up from somebody like them, then you rent it out and you just make that income each month if that's something you want to do. So there are definitely lots of options out there. It doesn't matter what your investment strategy is. So if you like the fix and flip model, if you want the Burr method where you buy, rehab, refinance, and just keep redoing that over and over, or if you just want to do the rental portion, there's all kinds of strategies out there, just depending on how much time, effort, and money you want to put into something like this to build up your passive long-term income for your retirement plan. But anyways, once again, don't hesitate to reach out. Let's talk. 727-249-4022. There's my email, contact at davebailey.me. You can visit my website, blog at davebailey.me. Follow along with us on YouTube is where we post all our home video tours. So we've got video tours of a lot of the new construction model homes in the master plan communities around the area here in the Tampa Bay area. So I'm posting those quite frequently, as well as shorter ones, just quick walkthroughs that are sped up of houses that I visit on a day-to-day basis, home tours that we do, houses that we're selling. Those are available on like Instagram or TikTok, the shorter version ones. So check those out. Hit us up if you have any questions. I look forward to chatting with you. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you in our next podcast episode. All right. Talk soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.